You are welcome to class once again. In continuation of our previous lesson, we'll be looking at the strengths and the decline of Benin Kingdom in 19th century. The Benin strength and the decline of the kingdom in 19th century. Now we'll be looking at this following objective. Describe what made Benin Kingdom famous in the 19th century. Also, explain the sources of Benin Kingdom in the 19th century. And lastly, give an account of the decline of Benin Kingdom in the 19th century. Let's go into the lesson. What are the factors that made Benin famous or that made Benin strong, successful in the 19th century? Number one factor, as we can see on the board, early civilization. Benin was known to have been civilized as early as 17th century. So early civilization made Benin to be famous and successful in the 19th century. And also economic stability. Benin was economically stable in the 19th century. Availability of resources. Energetic and powerful rulers. The rulers that were ruling in Benin were powerful. From the first king, even to the time that Britain had to invade Benin, they had strong and powerful kings. Also, slave trade. Slave trade made Benin to be successful economically. What do I mean by that? Benin was actually involving in slave trade to make a lot of money for the kingdom. So at that time, a lot of people were being sold into slavery from Benin Kingdom. And that was a blessing to Benin Kingdom in the 19th century. Also, which is the last point, alliance with Portugal. Benin actually formed an alliance, a trade alliance with Portugal. So Portugal was buying and was selling to Benin. So we can see that all these factors made Benin successful in the 19th century. Let's look at the factors that made Benin to decline in the 19th century. Alright, abolition of slave trade. Now, do you know that immediately that Britain began to move for abolition of slave trade, another country was supporting Britain. So many societies, so many countries, or so many nations were going into economic decline. The Yoruba entered into economic decline. Also, Benin also was affected because majority of the resources of the money they were making at that time was coming majorly from slave trade. So immediately abolition of slave trade came, they began to experience problem in their economy. Also, civil war in Yoruba land. If you can remember that we learned about civil war in Yoruba land. The civil war in Yoruba land also affected Benin negatively. It affected Benin negatively. Also, political crisis in Benin. Succession crisis. We learned that in our previous classes. We learned about the succession crisis in Benin. So it was actually one of the problems that actually gave way to decline in the kingdom. And lastly, British expedition, the Benin massacre. The Benin massacre that happened in 1897 also led to the decline of the kingdom. Alright, this and more we should be learning in our Google Classroom, so I'll be waiting to see you there. Thank you.